Then we are getting ready for our final session for today. We are going to explore the future of eSIM technology and the new SGP.32 standard. So in this panel discussion, we are going to provide insights on how eSIMs are transforming IoT device management and security. This session is moderated by my colleague, Wanik. So I'm going to bring Wanik on stage here and let him take over. The floor is yours, Wanik.
Thank you, Odur. And hi, everyone. My name is Wanik. I'm a Director of Partnerships here at Onomondo. And this session will be a roundtable around the eSIM IoT and the SGP.32 standard. Today, we will have the pleasure of hosting two experts from the IoT industry. The first one, our first guest, is Alejandro, who you know already. He was participating to the previous session. Alejandro represents Valid, SIM card manufacturer. And our second guest is Shohei from Murata, a very well-known radio module manufacturer. And the objective of this roundtable is really to discuss the eSIM IoT and the new standard, and to hopefully discuss the benefits and the challenges related to eSIM IoT. So let's welcome our two guests, Alejandro and Shohei. And it's a real pleasure to have you today, Shohei, Alejandro. Maybe let's start by you, Shohei, if you can give us a short introduction about yourself and your company.
Thank you very much, Wanik, for your introduction to me. My name is Shohei Kawanaka. I'm coming from the Murata. Murata is the manufacturer, as Manu said, manufacturer for the electrical components. We have a lot of the product portfolio, as you can see. Not only the wireless connectivity module, of course, wireless connectivity module is a big part of that. But apart from that, we have a bunch of capacitors, EMI filters, sensors, the power product, etc. So we have many types of the electrical components and the solution as well. We have we founded the company from the 1944. And net sales is around more than 10 billion euro. Our core field is the two core field and two challenge field, I would say. The communication and the mobility is the two core field, and we are now focusing on the two challenge field. One of them is environment, and another one is wellness. So those four fields are we're trying to invest much more. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Shohei, for this introduction. Alejandro, let's move to you.
Yes, so, well, hello, and thanks a lot for organizing this. I'm Alejandro Pulido. I'm IoT product manager here in Valid, okay? And Valid actually is 65 years old, so quite a lot. We are in the telecom industry for the last 35, 40 years. And of course, we started with the SIM, with the SIM business, okay? And after that, we evolved into the eSIM context when the eSIM arrives to this world, to the telecom world, okay? And since that moment, we have been focusing, of course, in continuing our SIM business, but in creating secure software, because at the end is what we do. We do secure software. We build secure elements for this eSIM RSP remote SIM provisioning ecosystem. So as part of our product and services, we have, of course, the eSIM, okay, which is the basic of the RSP, of the remote SIM provisioning, this tiny secure element that is located in a device that is protecting the operator's assets. On top of that, Okay, we are also doing this SMB Plus also for operators, which are hosting these profiles also for the RSP. I don't know if you hear some noise. Yeah.
Yes.
I think it's okay now, Alejandro.
Okay, sorry. Okay, so well, at the end, all of that, okay, all the remote SIM provisioning elements there are Valid is working on that, is providing that from the eSIM to the SNDP Plus to the LPA, and then now entering in the SGP.32 that we are gonna discuss a little bit about that. We are continuing also in that path of providing what the different elements to build this ecosystem.
All right, thank you so much, Alejandro, for this introduction. So as I said, the objective today is really to discuss eSIM IoT and the SGP.32 standard. So let's move to the first topic and the first question, and maybe let's start by you, Shohei. So if we look at this new standard, the SGP.32, what are the impact for you and for your, let's say, your company and specifically your industry of this new standard?
Okay, thank you very much for your first question. So the SGP.32 is the new standard for the eSIM, as Alessandro mentions. So far, but we already use the eSIM, eSIM feature for the smartphone. The all latest smartphone has eSIM, and we can freely download the profile. If you need to go to abroad, to go to the another region, another country, and we can change the profile by a smartphone. But this is actually not scalable. The is especially for the IoT devices, because IoT device has mainly customer needs to deploy the 1,000 million devices in the field, and they have to change the profile drastically. So in this case, the scalability is one of the challenge, and the current standard is not sufficient. So the SGP.32 is literally for the M2M and for IoT standard. And that means for impact perspective for the Murata, of course, we have sold our module with such a conventional eSIM feature to customer, but actually no one use the previous standard because they are struggling to change the profile one by one. If the SGP.32 will come literally, then they can easily switch the profile for all devices or all the profile at the same time, or even automatically. That's gonna be really drastically change to our industry. Not only the Murata perspective, but most of case, of course, the customer device maker or solution provider can enjoy this feature.
Okay, thank you, Shohei. Can you maybe tell us more about specific product that you have developed or you are developing in relation to SGP.32?
So we have provided the connectivity module, at least the cellular module. We have CAT-M NB LPWA module to the field, and we have also worked with several SIM vendor and SIM OS vendor, which provide the SIM OS enabling the SGP.32. Murata is a kind of the hardware manufacturer, So that means only Murata cannot provide all feature of the SGP32. This is a very important point. The in front of the customer can enjoy SGP32, but behind that there are many partners to bring this feature, like operator, like Onomondo U operator, the Barit, like a SIM manufacturer, Murata as a connectivity module maker, SIM OS vendor, etc., etc. Such kind of the partnership is really essential to realize this feature. So Murata is just a part of the this feature, but hardware is really, the key parts, one of the key parts of that, for sure.
Thank you so much, Shohei. So Alejandro, Shohei just mentioned, this ecosystem of different players that are basically necessary to provide the solution, so that are needed to provide the solution. As a SIM card manufacturer, of course, you are one of these key players. So can you maybe tell us what are the impact of this new standard for you?
So for us, basically, is again an evolution of our products, of our portfolio, inclusion of new products, and also new services at the end. So in one side, we have the eSIM for SGP32, which is different from the eSIM from SGP22. At the end, the SGP22 eSIM and the SGP22 ecosystem, the consumer ecosystem, was basically meant for local interaction of the end user. So the end user take the phones and do the necessary actions on the phone to download a profile, from their selected operator. Right now we are evolving in a different context, as Suhei mentioned before, which is, we have now the IoT, a lot of IoT devices out there on the field, and then, we need to remotely manage these devices, the content of the eSIM or the eSIM itself on the field. To do that, obviously the technology is not exactly the same. So that's why, for example, we have now the EAM, which is this remote management platform. This EAM the purpose is precisely that, to remotely manage the eSIM wherever the eSIM is, allowing this remote SIM provisioning in bulk mode. So many devices out there on the field can be remotely managed at the same time. And at the end, it's a change of paradigm, because at the end, before in consumer, we have the device manufacturer in one side, the network provider, the operator on Onomondo in the other side. But now in this new IoT context, and that's why I think this initiative is very, very important, because, this allows to sit all together to build a new ecosystem, all talking together, module makers, device manufacturer, operators, and of course, the eSIM providers.
Thank you so much, Alejandro. So you just mentioned the EIM component, and we all know this is, of course, a crucial component of this eSIM IoT architecture. So when it comes to the flexibility that this EIM component can bring, to the different use cases, can you maybe describe more about, these benefits of the EIM and the flexibility it can bring, and maybe describe a few use cases if you have some in mind?
Yes, of course. I mean, at the end, the EAM, the EAM is this remote platform that needs to be connected with the IPA in the different devices out there on the field. And the end, the flexibility is that one or two EAMs can handle devices out there on the field. 2, 3, I don't know. There are not a limit on the number of of the number of EAMs that can handle the different devices out there on the field, which opens basically a lot of use cases. So, for example, imagine that we have a connected car, that is in one side, the connectivity is managed by the automotive, but also is managed by the operator. And this is a use case that we need to consider out there. And actually, that is one of the flexibility that SGP.32 is offering. At the end, if we go back to the old end-to-end ecosystem, there was the SMSR. Okay, the EAM somehow has some of the functionalities of the SMSR, but the integration between the SMSR and the SNDP was a complex integration. Right now, the EAM offers this, but in a total different way, offering somehow on-the-fly integration that is much more easier. And also offering the capability of the EAM to be very easily connected with an operator at the end, and also, of course, with this flexible onboarding of different devices in the EAM.
Excellent. Thank you, Alejandro. Shohei, maybe you have something more to add to this, to the benefits, of this EAM and this new flexibility that we can see from the new standard.
So from device point of view and also the module point of view, the EAM is the kind of the counterpart of the from the device perspective. So the point is that who provide this ECM portion, like if operator can bring everything, including the IoT platform and also the EIM and also and so on. That would be the simple, but as I mentioned, also the SIM OS vendor, SIM manufacturer, probably the hardware manufacturer like a connectivity module maker like Murata can also offer a part of that. So in this case, the customer needs to contact multiple partners or multiple suppliers. That would be more complex. But IoT is it's natural for IoT, right? So, however, even there are lots of partners. Maybe simplify is also the key point. The SGP is simplifying the IoT deployment is one of the key for the SGP.32. So that means as a practical perspective, the one supplier may offer the all ecosystem, all feature, even including the third parties portion. That would be nice. So so simplify is really good as a total perspective, but as a business, that might be the difference. So that's why we need to also consider how to bring those feature set to customer. This is all the practical things.
Thank you so much, Shohei. Let's move now to another component of this eSIM IoT architecture, the IPA. So there are actually two, the IPA-E and the IPA-D. And there are differences between the two. So Alejandro, maybe you can explain, what are the differences between these two IPA, and also what are the consequences of those differences for you as a SIM card manufacturer?
Yes, so actually that is a very good question, because from our side, at least from Valid, we have received these questions many times, and we will continue receiving this question many times. So actually there are two types of IPA: the IPA-D on the device, which is part of the device application, okay, of the device application layer, and then we have the IPA-E, which is coded inside the eSIM. At the end, okay, from the functional perspective, there shouldn't be any difference between IPA-D and IPA-E. But of course, taking into account where this IPA is located, we will have some slight difference. For example, in terms of update, of course, update an application in the application layer of the device, at least in principle, is easier than update the eSIM itself. At the end, the eSIM is the secure element. The eSIM is certified according to the ESA, to the GSMA, and so on, to be secure, totally secure. So making any change on the eSIM itself, it's more complicated, let's say. Then also from the additional value-added services that we can add on top. Okay, of course the IPAD, if the device is usually a device has less constraints than an eSIM itself. So for this reason, putting on top value-added services on top of the IPAD is much more suitable than doing the same on the IPA. But at the end, it's going to be driven by the use case. So, for example, imagine the use case of the POS, the point of sale. Lately, we have many POS point of sale that are Android based. Okay, so it makes sense to have an IPA based on Android, right? So it's easy to deploy, it's easy to, let's say, control, and it's very easy to update. We have other use cases, for example, the CPE, or even other devices such as the automotive sector, and also some of these asset trackers that are more advanced, let's say, that also makes sense also to have the IPA on the device. On the other hand, the IPAE, one of the main benefits of the IPAE is that it should be agnostic from the device when the IPAV is not agnostic of the device, because at the end relies on the operating system of the device. So at the end, it's always a matter of balance. Okay, both of them, IPAD and IPAE, has very defined use case. On one side, the IPAD, let's say, offer more functionalities. On the other hand, the IPAE promise to be agnostic from the device. And both of them are very powerful use cases at the end, or characteristics for selecting one or the other.
Thank you so much, Alejandro. Shohei, from your perspective and from your point of view, what are the differences and let's say maybe the benefits of one compared to the other?
So if the customer has a big demand and the customer has a lot of engineers, then the IPAD could be the suitable, because it's more flexible, and they can change, they can arrange the how to handle of this IPA part as a device perspective. So I believe most of the customer, most of the device maker do not want to touch it so deeply. In this case, IPAE could be a more realistic solution. Even from the Murata perspective, the module perspective, the IPAD needs basically the API to control these parts. So that means that device maker need to implement this API to handle the IPAD. On the other hand, IPAE might be there are new AT command to control the such a IPA portion to into the SIM card, but this is very easy to control. Even they cannot touch so deeply, but the AT command could be the more how to say easy solution to control that.
Thank you, Shohei. This was very interesting. Maybe let's move to the security topic. We know that, of course, in all IoT projects and use cases, security is very important. It's a crucial component of any IoT projects. So, to your opinion, and maybe I will start with you, Shohei, why do you think the new standard, or do you think the new standard actually bring additional security compared to the previous one?
So the point is the SGP.32 is the standard. So the standard include the security. As of today, the GSMA require the certification process for this SGP.32 parts. So that means that the secure connection is always needed. So it's kind of the pros and cons, to be honest, because all device needs such a authentication certification one by one. I'm still discussing with many partners how to practically integrate this feature. However, of course, just support SGP32 means such a secure connection. That means customers don't need to care to implement such a certification process for the profile swapping. From previously, the customer need to take care of the such a security on top of that. But yeah, SCP-32 includes such as security for IoT. That would be very beneficial. How do you think that, Alessandro?
Yeah, no, I fully agree with you. So at the end, I mean, we are coming from the consumer use case where again the security, let's say, or the security from the device perspective relies on the user. The user has the full control of the device, and the user is the one that, well, it's gonna be unlikely that end user, because at the end the eSIM is very well protected. Okay, so at the end the graphical user interface, the user controls everything on the device. Here in SGP32, okay, we have a remote entity controlling the device. So therefore, between the EAM, this remote manager, and the device, and there is actually an extra layer of security in order to securely, let's say, manage remotely the device. On the other hand, okay, from the eSIM SNDP Plus perspective, okay, so exactly as you said, so the eSIM is a secure element. And as a secure element, it has a lot of certifications, not only the common criteria for the chip itself, for the hardware where it is the the operating system is located, but also all the upper layers of software that inside these secure elements are also certified. So this certification actually follows the guidelines of also common criteria. We have the schema defined by GSMA, and this schema actually, well, the only intention of this schema, because at the end, the only intention of the eSIM itself is to protect the operator assets. So, of course, any attack on any eSIM, okay, or any secure element is just to extract the content of the secure element itself. So that is what we need to protect. And then from the other side, it is true that in the IoT, because of the volume of the deployments or the volume of the devices, well, basically it's pure mathematics. There are more chances that a device or a network is compromised. But the secure element, the eSIM ecosystem is built trying to reduce as much as possible this kind of attacks. So, I mean, summarizing, from the eSIM itself, okay, the security itself is very well protected since the very beginning in consumer and also in IoT, but there is this additional layer in order to protect the communication between the EAM and the device. And then the download of the profile itself, okay, the download of the protection, well, this is again very well protected with the content of the eSIM and the SNDP Plus on the other side. So again, the standards and our implementations, and I think everybody's implementation is precisely looking to protect the operator's assets, which for us is the most important, is our work basically.
Thank you so much, Alejandro and Shohei. And finally, last topic that we would like to discuss today is regarding interoperability. So, and how the new standard can improve the interoperability of the different, IoT projects or use cases. Maybe we can start with you, Shohei.
Yeah. So let's look at the Cat M1 and NB industry. There are lots of the chipset and also the module, and most of them can offer the single SKU, like a global footprint. And the operator also worldwide topic, but at the end, the customer want to change the profile by region, by the country, to optimize the offer and optimize also the price. So the previously, before SGP.32, they need to change the device, like changing the SIM, physical SIM, at the end in their production line. So they need to have multiple SKU. Even the module itself and the operator can offer the single offer. But once the SGP.32 is coming, the customer really they only make the one SKU device, including the connectivity module and also the eSIM. And the eSIM can freely download the profile one to another without any changing, especially any hardware change. You know, in the previous discussion, the Cat1 bis and the Cat-M is the a part of that. You know, the most of the Cat1 bis module has multiple region, multiple SKU, like for EU, for North America. So even the SGP.32 will come, the Cat1 bis hardware is already several SKU. That means that from interoperability point of view or from the complexity, so simplified point of view, Cat-M and NB plus SGP.32 is one of the best solution, I believe. The SGP.32 is just not the short-term solution. SGP.32 is a long-term solution for the IoT deployment. That means Cat-M1 and B is also included in the 5G with SGP.32 to literally make the simplicity for all perspective.
Thank you so much, Shohei. I think that's a very valuable insights. Alejandro, from your point of view, yes, what is the benefit of this interoperability in the future for the use cases in IoT?
Yes, so well, interoperability is key. Okay, that is why consumer has so broad adoption. Because actually you take your phone, you go to another country, you download a profile, and it works. And it works because we, as industry, we've been working a lot on protecting this interoperability or ensuring this interoperability. In IoT is more complex, okay? Because IoT, again, as Sunay has said, and in the previous section, we were saying that we have IoT, well, the fragmentation is inherent to IoT because at the end we have many device types, many technologies, many networks, many operating system even. So the fragmentation is something that, at least from device perspective, is something that we need to bear with. Because at the end, the IoT promise to cover every device, every connected device on the world, and we need to accept that there is fragmentation, not only from the technology, including the technology perspective, but also from different vendors, from different interpretations of the network, and so on. So that's to say that fragmentation is going to be there. So we need to work all together in order to solve this fragmentation. Well, this is why this event, for example, is very important for the industry in general, because at the end it set a good path towards the future on reducing the fragmentation and increasing the interoperability. And again, with IoT, we have, let's say, multi-factor interoperability potential issues, because we not only have the profiles of the operators. Okay, this is one point of interoperability, and well, somehow we were bearing with that with consumer. So well, this is it's gonna continue probably, but is already there for many time, and there is already some interoperability events. Also, we are doing some interoperability procedures or initiatives. in order to reduce as much as possible the interoperability at profile level. But now we are entering in a different type of interoperability issue. And this potential interoperability issue is, for example, between the EAM and the device. Okay, now we have different EAMs. Okay, so potentially we will have many different EAMs in the field that may be from competitors, maybe from college, maybe from many EAMs. And also, in the other hand, we may have many devices with their own IPAs, IPA-D, IPA-E, from ourselves, from our competitors, from our customers even. So it's something that we cannot think on closed ecosystem. We need to believe in open and interoperable ecosystem for IoT. Otherwise, it's going to be very complicated at the end. If you deploy an EAM and you try to accept a device and suddenly, well, it's never been tested, and we assume that it's never been tested because at the end, this is what we build standards and standard products. No, we need to accept that there are devices that we don't know that are going to try to use our services. So because of that, the interoperability initiatives trying to reduce the fragmentation are key, totally key.
Thank you so much, Alejandro. I think that's really a key point you just mentioned. I think this actually concludes our roundtable, but we have some questions from the audience. So let's move on to the Q&A section. We have a few questions. I can see here there is one for you, Alejandro. So when we look at the GSMA website, the SGP.32 standard appears to be still in evolution. So could you provide some insight on the timelines and when this will start being really a certified solution?
Yes, so, well, actually, I was involved in the creation in the standard. I'm still involved in the creation of the standard, and this work started 4 years ago. I think it was even before pandemics. So it's been a long way until we reach this point where we have already the version 1.1, 1.2 already published. But it is true that the compliance program, it is not ready. That means that we cannot certify a product because the compliance program, it is not ready. So right now we were participating in the test session number 1 and number 2 from Rural Platform and GSMA with our products. This is let's say the first step to have something. The first step towards the certification of the eSIM product. But this is not the only entity here. We've been talking about the EAM. We've been talking about the IPA. So the first step is the eSIM, being able to certify the eSIM. But the next step is to test with the test specification, the interface between the EAM and the IPA, and this is still not ready. Okay, so we have still a long way to have we can start. We have already started, and we will continue working towards the compliance of the eSIM and then towards the rest of the things. But it's true that today it's not possible to certify an eSIM product according to the GSMA rules, and probably until January it's not going to be possible to start the certification because the certification, again, the framework is still not closed.
Yeah. Another question. So maybe for the two of you, are there any differences between the data or the control you can get, between the two IPA? I mean, the IPA-E and the IPA-D. This is a question from James. It could be, for example, the network level data specific to the SIM and so on.
So, well, maybe I can ask and then Suhei can complement. So in principle, there shouldn't be any difference from the data interchange with the network if we are using an IPA-E or an IPA-D, because at the end, this relies on the modem, on the module, right? So the IPA-E at the end just receive the commands from the EAM and do whatever they need to do with the eSIM. But from the data itself, when the connection is established with the network, there shouldn't be any difference in terms of data. In terms of bandwidth.
And even from
Another
the
question.
hardware perspective, from the hardware perspective, I fully agree with Alessandro. The IPAE and IPAD is just where it is implemented. So once it is integrated, the feature set itself is the same. So no difference in terms of the data control, whatever.
Okay. Thank you so much. And another question, actually, that is from Thomas. But are there any performance differences between the two?
So
I don't think this is difference. Alessandro, do you have?
So no, please go ahead.
So it's the same, almost same question. I think the IPA and IPAD. The one still the open point is that the IPAE, how we can integrate what portion we can integrate into the IPAE. If we need to compromise some point to integrate the IPAE in terms of the resource perspective, the performance might be little bit differ, but it's really depends on the use case and it depends on the providers direction. So I cannot say in terms of the just a wording perspective or just a definition perspective, there is no differences, but it's more practical question, I guess.
Yeah, exactly. So I fully agree. And at the end, also regarding the performance itself of the device, there shouldn't be any impact on that.
All right. Thank you so much. I think this is the end of our session. I would like really to thank you both, Shohei and Alejandro, for your insights. I think this has been very valuable for the audience. And I will hand over now to Odur.
Thank you so much, Wanik, and thank you all for attending the Connectivity Web Summit. We are wrapping up for today, and we hope that you have gained valuable insights into the future of IoT connectivity, anything from building a robust cellular tech stack to understanding the latest trends in eSIM technology and choosing the right LTE standards for your applications. Special thank you to all of our incredible speakers for sharing their expertise. And of course, a big thanks to our co-host Valid, with a special shout out to Alejandro for his valuable contributions on stage today. As a reminder, these session recordings will be shared with you later this week via email, so you can revisit any of today's learning or catch up on sessions you may have missed. If you have any further questions, feel free to reach out to us at events@onomondo.com, and we'll make sure to connect you with the right person. Lastly, we'd really appreciate if you could take a few minutes to complete the brief survey after the event. Your feedback helps us improve and make these events even better going forward. Once again, I want to thank you all for joining us, and we look forward to seeing you hopefully at future events. So thank you, everyone, and take care.